Canoe begins segment 2 of this journey. Heading up into the mountains. I'll show you here in a second. There we go. This is coming up out of Centennial. We are on Highway 130. Highway 130 is closed all winter long. And as we proceed ever upward, we top out at about 11,000 feet. What does one do during the winter around here? Well, one skis, one snowmobiles, one snowshoes. There are recreational outdoor activities year-round here. Buffalo, Jackson Hole, Sheridan do not have a monopoly on year-round outdoor activities. You just have to know the where, the when, and the how. And actually, there's probably, this area probably has better access for cross-country skiing. And when the resort, when the lodge opens, Snowy Range Lodge opens, there's usually actually snow. Not that Buffalo and Sheridan don't get snow, not that Red Lodge doesn't get snow, not that Jackson Hole doesn't get snow. However, Snowy Range tends to get its snow, its good snow, around, well, March, April. And it's when that snow comes that, you know, you can actually hit that slope. In the meantime, you can snowshoe, you can snowmobile, you can cross-country ski. Cross-country skiing, of course, a lot more of an aerobic exercise. Snowshoeing is kind of aerobic. Now, of course, you have to be prepared for this. Now, like today, I didn't check to make sure that I had everything I actually needed for a canoe trip. I grabbed my water bag. I've got an extra t-shirt. I don't have a change of pants. And the reason you want all this stuff is because if your canoe tips and you go in the water, well, guess what? Now you're cold. And North Platte is cold. Trust me. I've been in it. This has got to be one of the most pretty drives, though, in Wyoming. 130, 230 Gateway. They're spectacular roads. And this one just kind of goes up and up and up. Around one of these bends, you hit the peak. I'll be able to show you that eventually. Either side of the road, of course, we have lodgepole pine. Oh, there's a grabber. Clearing out slag. Forests are fascinating things, you know, and there's lots of bickering about forest management. However, growing up in one, I can say this: there's a certain level of, if you're going to be there, be smart. For one, it's really easy to get lost back in the trees, especially in the Rocky Mountains, where one area can look exactly like another, especially in the Bighorn part of the range. the slag fields, the slough fields, or whatever you want to call them, where the dead pine needles fall off the trees and branches and all that stuff are on the forest floor to rot. This stuff can also get really, really dry. And so a lot of times what I've seen people do is they'll scrape those piles up and remove them. Beetles, pine beetles, of course, we all know what happened a few years ago due to pine beetles. Half of Montana, 90% of California, 60% of Wyoming and Colorado all burned because, well, no, you can't cut down the pine beetle trees. Well, whether you like it or not, logging kind of helps prevent that. And there's a whole section up on the other side, on the 230 side, that it's burned for about 330 acres due to beetle kill. If you look over here, you can see trees that are beetle kill. They'll probably have those cleared out fairly soon. They're all marked, so they'll be removing those. There's some trees alongside the highway that are marked that are also beetle kill or just torn up by wind. Coming around this bend here in just a second, there it is. There's Snowy Range. Still has snow on it in the middle of June, end of June. We're on June 25th, so yeah, end of June. Still, you just keep climbing and climbing. Beautiful blue sky. Mountain Meadow Cabins, 1 mile ahead. You can rent those. Now there are roads throughout Wyoming that I do not necessarily recommend for RV travel. It is much better off if you can find a nice little place to camp your RV and just have that as your base that you go back to after, you know, either a day or, you know, go out for a day hike or a day drive or you know, anything other than driving your massive 25-foot RV with sketchy brakes over this. We've got about 2 more bends and we'll have full view of the peak, and then I'll end this part of the video blog, as it's probably gone on a little longer than anybody really cares it to, but oh well. I'm the one making the video, you're not. So there. Now this narrative, of course, not all of my information is accurate, not all of my information is necessarily true. Some of it may or may not be embellished. However, I can tell you a story though. So, of the many characters that you meet if you come and hang out in Centennial, one individual. He's the individual previously mentioned. He's 71. He's been in Centennial since 1970. 70s, I should say. When they built this highway, he actually worked on it. So, one of his many colorful stories, he was up here skiing right in this general area, and he managed to break his leg. One very key thing when you are traveling through any of our nation's national parks, hiking, backpacking, or any such outdoor activity, what is one cardinal rule? Always tell somebody where you're going. So he's out here skiing and he breaks his leg. He had not told anybody where he was going. So what he did was shuffled his way out here along the highway and proceeded down the mountain with a broken leg. In winter, the highway's closed in the winter anyway, so you can't really drive up here. But he managed to make it back to town though and lived to tell the tale. Such is one of the many character building tales that you will hear while watching this video blog. And that ends part 2. Ahead of me is Medicine Bow Peak, Snowy Range. Quite spectacular, isn't it? Just kind of makes you want to go climb around on it.